We appreciate your visit and want to welcome you to Ancient Egyptian Books. You can help us by liking, following, and subscribing. Anubis is an ancient Egyptian god of the dead, of those who seeks entrance into the afterlife. He is the son of God Seth and Goddess Nephthys, and the nephew of Osiris and Isis. He is also the elder cousin of Horus, the son of Osiris. Anubis was allegedly formed from clay on a potter's wheel, just as goddess Tefnut had done with her four offspring, Seth, Nephthys, Osiris, and Isis. Of the many gods who visited Anubis' birth, they are reported to have commented on Anubis' uncanny similarity to his father Seth when they came to greet the newborn Anubis. According to legend, Osiris and Isis experienced a new energy when they visited the infant Anubis. The ancient Egyptians would eventually define this energy as the urge or feeling to have their own child. So they made it for days on end when they returned home. Anubis was raised by two devoted parents to assist the gods as he would have liked to have been treated. God Seth started handing up most of his authority and responsibilities to his son Anubis when he was a teenager. By sending Anubis to consult with other gods and make decisions on their behalf, Seth started to shape Anubis in the image of the gods. According to legend, the many gods who saw Anubis started to recognize him for what he truly was, a near-exact clone of his father, Seth. Thus it did not come as a surprise to Seth when he was addressed as Anubis at the council meeting. According to the ancient Egyptians, the council meeting was called by goddess Mot to lay the foundation for humanity. The discussion covered a wide range of subjects, but in the end, the council resolved to establish a barrier between the spiritual and material worlds as well as set up structures and rules in the form of laws that would specify what must be done in order for one's soul to join in eternal life. Today, the 42 laws of Goddess Mot are incorrectly used to refer to these structures and rules. According to some of the occurrences at the council meeting, Horus, the son of Osiris, was acknowledged as the first member of humankind and the first pharaoh of the ancient Egyptians, not Osiris, after delegating for a while. Seth's mission will be to accompany and guard his brother Osiris as well as to teach his nephew Horus, son of Osiris, how to protect his descendants, the ancient Egyptians. Osiris relinquished his position as protector of Ra and assumed the position of Lord and God of the underworld. Goddess Mot consented to Seth's suggestion that his son Anubis be given the responsibility of watching over the courtroom and gave it to him along with control of the judgment scale. Anubis was in charge of doing tasks like weighing the deceased person's heart. At the delegation of the council meeting, the heart was regarded by the gods of the ancient Egyptians as a record keeper and the source of perpetual life for one to exist in the material world, according to our source on ancient Egyptian legends. Horus, the son of Osiris and the first representation of humanity, was tasked by his heart to maintain the everyday activities of its host for the soul's appointed day. Anubis, the scales master and protector, sets the stage by placing the feather that symbolizes Goddess Mot on one side and the soul in the shape of a heart on the other. It was Anubis' responsibility to closely monitor the procedure to ensure that the scaling was carried out correctly. The results of the scaling are determined by how the heart responds to the jury's query. Anubis would remove the heart from the scale and give it to a creature by the name of Ammit so that the soul would merge with Ammit. If, in the opinion of the Great Balance, the person was not pure, not honest, and not sin-free, ancient Egyptians have long desired that their souls depart this world and not merge with Ammit. If, on the other hand, the scale indicated that the deceased was sin-free, Anubis will then present the soul to Osiris' chambers, where Osiris stands at the gate with his two sisters, Isis and Nephthys by his side as support. The entrance to the spiritual realm will then be opened by Osiris, allowing the deceased soul to continue on to eternal life. It has been mentioned in numerous stories of stranded souls behind the judgment hall since the division of the physical and spiritual realms. These stranded spirits were thought to be deceased people who had either died under unfavorable conditions or who had not been properly embalmed during the mummification process. The desperate souls trapped in the underworld regarded the judgment hall as their only chance to leave the underworld, but Anubis and his companion Ammit A beast-like creature with a crocodile head and the bodies of a lion and a hippopotamus, halted them in their tracks. Only Anubis has access to the structure that houses the judgment, as he is its protector. He was occasionally depicted seated atop what ancient Egyptian texts thought to be the judgment hall structure. Along with the Great Pyramids, the Sphinx, and the numerous obelisks constructed in ancient Egypt. The Judgment Building rose to prominence as one of the most recognizable and renowned structures in that civilization. The ancient Egyptians made the decision to construct replica temples in the real world after hearing many stories about the famous underworld Judgment Hall structure. The numerous hidden scrolls, now known as the papyrus scrolls, were kept in these Judgment Hall temple replicas. The ancient Egyptians established the foundation for civilization and taught the laws of the gods through the use of these scrolls. Although these papyrus scrolls have never been translated, some of the characters pictured there help to explain some of the events that took place during the ancient Egyptian era. All subsequent civilizations, from Rome to the contemporary era, were brought in by and greatly impacted by the accomplishments of the ancient Egyptians. They will lay the groundwork for everything we are familiar with today. From religion to the preservation of history through art, literature, and technology to education.